So you've probably heard the phrase selling on Amazon thrown around a lot. But have you ever stopped to think about what that actually means? It sounds like this one big, simple thing, but it's really not. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and demystify the whole thing for you. Let's get into how it really works. And yeah, this quote pretty much nails it. It's the first thing everyone wants to know. Because here's the secret. Selling on Amazon isn't just one job. It's actually 4 completely different ways of doing business. And we're about to walk through every single one of them. All right, here's the plan for this explainer. We'll kick things off with that seller's question, get to the core idea that powers everything, then break down the 4 models. After that, we'll weigh the risk versus reward, and finish up with a super clear first step for anyone thinking about jumping in. Okay, so what's the one big idea that connects almost every single way of selling on Amazon? It really all comes down to this one simple but super powerful word: arbitrage. That's it. That is the entire game in a nutshell. You're just buying an item for cheap somewhere, and then you're selling it for more on Amazon to make a profit. I mean, buy low, sell high. It's that simple, right? But I know what you're thinking, right? That's the million-dollar question. If you can get something cheaper somewhere else, why in the world would anyone pay more for it on Amazon? It kind of feels like it shouldn't work, but believe me, there are some very, very good reasons why it does. See, here's the thing. Customers on Amazon, they're not just buying a product. They are buying a service. They're paying a premium for speed and convenience. Think about it. Getting something delivered to your door in 2 days or even the same day instead of waiting a week or more, for a lot of people, that convenience is absolutely worth a few extra bucks. Okay, so now that we get why people will pay more, let's talk about the how. How do sellers actually find these products to sell? Well, there are 4 main models, so let's break them down one by one. First up, we have retail arbitrage. You can think of this as a real-life treasure hunt. It's where you physically go into a store, like a Walmart or a Target, and you use your phone to scan items, looking for those sweet clearance deals you can then flip online for a profit. Next, we've got online arbitrage. It is the exact same idea as retail, but instead of walking through aisles, you're doing all of your treasure hunting from your couch. You're just clicking through different websites, hunting for those online sales, buying the stuff and getting it sent to your house to then ship off to Amazon. All right, number 3 is wholesale. Now, this is a bit of a different ballgame. Here, you're moving up the food chain. You're buying products in big, bulk quantities directly from distributors. The plus side? You get a way better price per item. The catch? You usually have to hit what's called a minimum order quantity, which means you're putting down more cash up front. And last but not least, number 4, private label. Okay, so this one is a complete 180 from the others. With this model, you are not reselling someone else's brand. No, you are creating your very own. You find a generic product, maybe from overseas, you slap your own logo on it, and bam, you've got a brand new product that you have to build from the ground up. So there you have it. Those are the 4 big models. But, and this is a big but, they are definitely not all created equal. Not even close. The amount of risk, the cost to get started, the effort involved, it's all over the map. So let's compare them so you can figure out which path really makes sense. The best way to think about this is to split these 4 models into 2 main camps. On one side, you've got retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and wholesale. With these, you're tapping into existing demand. You're selling stuff people already know and are looking for. But on the other side, you've got private label, and there it's a totally different story. You have to create the demand from scratch for something nobody's ever heard of before. And what does that all boil down to? One word: marketing. With the first 3 models, the customers already exist. They're already searching for that product. With private label, well, you have to go out and find the customers. We're talking ad campaigns, social media, the whole 9 yards. And this table just lays it all out perfectly. Just look at retail and online arbitrage. Low cost, low risk, no marketing. Easy peasy. Wholesale is the next step up, a medium level across the board. But then, look at private label. High cost, high risk, high marketing effort. It is just playing a completely different sport. Okay, that was a lot of information, I know. So what's the big takeaway here? If you're brand new to all this, where in the world should you start? Let's boil it all down to a simple, actionable game plan. That's the big question, right? With 4 such different ways to go, there's gotta be a smart way to begin. And there is. There's a safest and, frankly, best way to dip your toes in the water. And here it is, plain and simple. Start with retail arbitrage and then add in online arbitrage. Seriously,
Think of them as two sides of the same coin. One gets you out into the stores, the other keeps you online. But the basic idea is exactly the same, and they complement each other perfectly.
So I start there. Well, it's all about risk, or rather, the lack of it. You don't have to worry about those big minimum orders like with wholesale. You can literally just buy 2 or 3 of an item, maybe 5 if you're feeling bold, send them in, and see what happens. You get to prove that the product actually sells before you put any real skin in the game. And listen, this isn't just my opinion, this is what the pros will tell you. You start with online and retail arbitrage because they go hand in hand. They're the perfect training ground. They let you learn the ropes of how Amazon works without having to risk a ton of money. So there you have it. You've got the blueprint now. You understand the core idea of arbitrage. You know the 4 different ways to play the game. The only question left is, if you walked into a store tomorrow and headed for the clearance aisle, what's the first thing you'd scan?